All right, it's that time of year again. And no, I'm not talking about what you owe the IRS. I'm talking about something just as important, the battle to be the best tax software for 2026. And let me tell you, this year, things got shaken up. We've got a major upset on our hands.
So let's be real for a second. Does the thought of tax season give you that little knot in your stomach? For most of us, yeah, it does. It can feel like this big, complicated, stressful mess. And whether it ends up being just a small headache or a total nightmare, well, that usually comes down to the tools you've got in your corner.
And that is exactly what we're talking about today. Think of the right software as your secret weapon. It can literally take tax season from something you dread to something you can just get through smoothly and hopefully get you the biggest refund possible without pulling your hair out.
But like I said, this year is different. The ground has totally shifted. CNET went and tested all the big names, and they found a surprising new winner. Now, this is a huge deal because for years, one company has absolutely dominated this space. So, who's the new champ and what happened to the old king? Let's dive in. And here it is. For the first time, H&R Block has been crowned best overall, knocking the longtime champ right off the top spot. You know, this isn't just a new #1 on a list. This could be a real sign that the game is changing, that the giant's grip on the market might finally be loosening. Okay, so to really get why this is such a massive deal, we gotta talk about the giant in the room, TurboTax. For years, I mean years, this has been the default, the go-to software for millions of Americans. And for good reason. It's powerful and incredibly easy to use. Look, TurboTax's good side is really good. PC Mag gave it a perfect score, calling the user experience exceptional. It can handle pretty much any tax situation you throw at it. But, and this is a big but, all that excellence costs a lot. It's the most expensive service out there. And you know what else? CNET pointed out it's constantly bugging you with these annoying and disruptive pop-ups to upgrade. So the takeaway here is that its amazing features are getting dragged down by the price tag and, frankly, how much it tests your patience.
So if that's the giant's weakness, how did the challenger take advantage? Let's flip over to H&R Block and see exactly what their winning formula was to finally grab that #1 spot.
Really, H&R Block's win boils down to one simple idea: balance. It might not be the absolute fanciest, but it just hits that sweet spot between price, ease of use, and having all the features you need. They've got a truly free version, awesome tools if you're a gig worker, and a really impressive AI assistant. But here's their ace in the hole. You can get help online, or you can walk into one of their thousands of offices and talk to a real, live person. That's a game changer for a lot of people.
Okay, putting them side by side like this really paints the picture, doesn't it? You can see H&R Block just squeaks by in the CNET rating to win best overall. TurboTax, to its credit, is still the easiest to use. But just look at that price difference. H&R Block's most expensive option is way cheaper, and it all comes back to their key weaknesses. For TurboTax, it's that high cost and constant upselling. For H&R Block, yeah, the pricing can be a little tricky, but it's not nearly as frustrating as its competitor.
Now, this fight between the two heavyweights is fascinating, but it's not the only story out there, right? What if you don't need every single bell and whistle? What if your #1 priority is just saving money? Well, there are some really great alternatives that are perfect for specific situations. And whoa, take a look at this. The price difference can be huge. TurboTax, if you want full service, can be $150, maybe more. H&R Block's top do-it-yourself plan is around $85. But then you've got Jackson Hewitt coming in with a crazy simple offer, $25, flat, for everything. I mean, that is a gigantic difference in price. $25 is a fantastic deal. But what if you could pay even less? What if you could pay nothing? Zero. It's not a gimmick, it's totally real. You just have to know which services to look for. So in the totally free category, you've got two main players. First up is FreeTaxUSA. This one is awesome, especially if your taxes are a little more complicated. Your federal return is always free, and you just pay a flat fee of about $16 for your state taxes. Then you have Cash App Taxes, and this one is 100% free, federal and state. The catch? It's really best for simple returns, and there's no option to call in a tax pro for help. You're kind of on your own. Okay, so before you run off and pick one, there's something else we need to cover. A really good tax software should make navigating the newest tax laws super easy, and there are some big ones this year. For the sake of this explainer, we'll group them under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, just to see how much of an impact they could have on your bottom line.
You're going to want to pay attention to this because these new deductions could mean serious money back in your wallet. For the next couple of years, if you earn tips, up to 25 grand of it could be tax-free. Same with a good chunk of overtime pay. And get this, for the first time ever, you can actually deduct the interest on your car loan. There's also a new deduction just for seniors, and on top of all that, the standard deduction is higher for everybody. The best part? A good software will find all this for you automatically.
And one last really important update. You might have heard about the IRS testing its own free filing system called Direct File. Well, that program has been suspended for this tax season. So that's not an option this year. You'll have to use one of the commercial software options that we've been talking about. All right, we've gone through the big contenders, the budget-friendly alternatives, and the new rules of the game. Now it's time for the million-dollar question. How do you pick the right one for you? Let's break it down into a super simple framework so you can find your perfect match.
It really just boils down to asking yourself 3 simple questions. First, how complicated are my taxes? Are we just talking a basic W-2 from your job, or do you have investments, a side gig, maybe a small business? Second, what's my budget? Are you cool with paying a premium for that super smooth, polished experience, or is free the only price you're interested in? And last, how much help do you want? Are you a confident do-it-yourselfer? Or do you want that safety net of knowing an expert or at least a smart AI is there if you get stuck?
And that final point about AI help brings us to a really interesting final thought. I mean, with AI getting smarter and connecting to all our financial accounts automatically, you have to ask, right? Are we heading towards a future where we don't even do our taxes anymore? Where the software just prepares it all and our only job is to look it over and hit prove? It's a wild thought and definitely something we'll be watching. Thanks for tuning in.